Welcome back. In the third installment of how to create a successful online business is step number 3, of course, getting traffic. Having a great landing page, having a great offer is going to be completely irrelevant if no visitors are actually going to that page. If nobody's seeing it, there's no way you're going to get any buyers or sales or leads. So the next step is getting eyeballs on that actual page. And there's two different options. The first option is free, and this is just finding ways to get traffic without paying money for it. Interestingly enough, some people actually pay money to get free traffic. They pay money by using search engine optimization tools and things like that. But anyway, so one of the key things to remember is that when you're using free traffic, the more value you can provide to people, the higher your conversion rate's going to be. The more people that are actually going to enter their email address and end up buying from you. If you're using free marketing and you're just putting out junk, then you're not going to get very many leads and probably no sales. So keep that in mind when I go through a few of these options. Now, there's a few different ways that you can use to get free traffic. What I'm finding is working best right now are these three. The first one's blogging. And blogging is nothing new. It's been around for quite a long time. Most everybody's heard of it, but I still find a lot of people are not 100% sure what a blog is or what the difference is between a blog and a website. So in a few words, basically what it is it's a website that's continually updating. So your website is probably going to stay about the same, but the blog portion should be updated regularly. For some people, this is multiple times a week. Sometimes it's once a week or once a month. But a blog, the concept behind it is that you're constantly updating it. And one of the cool things about it is you can actually target broader terms. So let me take a step back here. The way a lot of people find blogs is through search engines like Google or Bing. And in order to get your website to show up on there, usually you have to do search engine optimization, which can involve, like I talked about earlier, either paying people to do it or paying for tools. And the problem or the difficulty is if you're going for a very generic term, like say auto insurance, it's going to be virtually impossible for you to ever rank on the first page for that because there's so many other people that have been doing it for so long that you're probably not going to rank for that. So on your main website, you might have a page about auto insurance, but you're not going to expect to get a lot of traffic, at least in the short term. So that's where your blog comes in handy, is you would target a more what we call a long tail keyword. And this is just multiple words strung together. So instead of something as broad as auto insurance, you might have something like, how do I buy auto insurance for a 2010 Ford Mustang? Or something like that. So there's not going to be a lot of people searching for that term, but it's going to be a lot easier for you to show up on the first page for it. Sometimes you can even show up without doing any search engine optimization by just writing the blog post correctly. So I guess to go back and shorten it up, just blogging is really to allow you to create more content for those longer tail keywords to allow you to rank in the search engines. The next thing that I'm seeing that's working great is YouTube videos. So right now, the #1 site on the internet is Google. They get the most amount of traffic out of any website. But the #2 website is actually YouTube. And the reason, in my opinion, why this is that people love video. People, they used to always, in the past, would read a website and read text, and that's great. And then sites started adding audio that people could listen to, which is great as well. But combining the visual and the audio together is why, and again, in my opinion, that YouTube has had such great success. And I'm sure it's no surprise. We all enjoy watching TV more than we like listening to radio. The other cool thing is that Google owns YouTube. So Google is going to give preferential treatment to videos that are on YouTube in the search engines. So going back to my earlier example, if you wanted to rank for auto insurance, you would have a much easier time ranking a video that's on YouTube than you would a blog post. Again, you're virtually never going to reach that first page for a keyword that's that broad, but having the videos can give you a big advantage. The cool thing about it as well is you can create a YouTube video, you can put that on your blog, and then you can write a blog post with that same content. So you can actually end up ranking on the first page more than once for those terms that you're going after, for those longer tail keywords. So same as with blogging, having good quality content is what's really going to make the difference, because YouTube, in their algorithm, in their how they decide how it ranks, is they look at how long people are watching a video. So if people turn on your video, they watch for 15 seconds and then they shut off the video, and you may say your video is maybe 10 minutes long, Google and YouTube are going to start to recognize that it's maybe not very good quality content, and that's why everybody's leaving, and so your rankings are going to take a hit. So creating engaging content that people are watching all the way through is going to improve your rankings. The third thing that I'm seeing work really well right now is Facebook. Facebook fan pages are working very well as far as ranking in the search engines, but then in addition, within Facebook, you can actually get traffic and people finding your posts. There's entire courses based around creating Facebook fan pages and how to set them up and how to get visitors and things like that. I'm not going to get into the details here, but just know Facebook is, again, the third most popular website on the internet, and so people are going there all the time. Now, the audience on Facebook is typically looking to be entertained. They're going there for fun. They're typically not going there for business. So when you're making your content, keep that in mind. You want to err more on the side of being entertaining than you do being business oriented. So in any industry, you can make a funny video or something like that that involves whatever your topic is, but the more you can make it entertaining, the more people are going to be interested. Excuse me one second, I gotta get some water here. So those three are working great for online. For offline, if you want to get traffic, you of course can use word of mouth by telling friends and family and people that you know, telling them about your website and having them go check out your capture page. Or I've also seen a lot of people doing where they'll create a flyer and then post it up at local shops around town that maybe have a bulletin board where you can post things like that. Those can work. I would say probably not as well or probably not as effective for the amount of effort as blogging, YouTube, or Facebook. But if you're looking for things that are offline to advertise your online marketing, your online business, those are methods that are working. So now the second topic, or the second, I should say, form of getting traffic is going to be through paid marketing. And this is where you're paying to do this marketing. So it can be like a pay per click, where you pay per person that clicks on your page. This can be pay per impression, where it's however many people see your ad, you're paying for that. There's a number of different ways to do it. But the things to keep in mind is that once you have it set up, it's going to be a lot less work than the free methods and a lot less time. Now up front, it is going to take some work and effort to get it set up, because you've got to find a place to get the traffic and you've got to do some testing to make sure that it's actually working, so you're not just throwing money away. Now with that in mind, with paid traffic, there's also a few different, I guess I would say, avenues or ways of using paid traffic. So most people have heard of Google pay-per-click. This used to be very, very effective long ago. However, now it has become so expensive and just so tightly regulated that most everyone that I've talked to or that is doing paid advertising is simply not using it anymore. Unless you're a very large business with a very, very large budget, I'm talking maybe 5 figures a month to spend on advertising, Google pay-per-click is not going to be right for you. It's going to be too much work and too much money. However, there are some other methods to do that type of advertising where people can see your ad. there's a number of ad networks out there that control ads on large websites. And so when you go to websites like MSN.com or Weather.com, there are companies, third-party companies that manage their advertising. And so you sign up with these companies, and then you submit your ad, you select your budget and things like that, and then they'll put it on these large sites in front of your target audience to get you some traffic. There's so many of them out there. You're going to have to do some shopping and some looking around. But one great way to find some of these sites is to simply go to your favorite websites. Go to where you think your target market's going to be hanging out. And typically, if you scroll to the bottom of the page, there'll be a link that says advertise with us or advertising options or something along those lines. And you click on that, and then they'll direct you to where their advertising management company is. Some of these sites handle their own advertising, other ones have a third-party company manage it. But that can be a great way if you want to do that type of advertising. Another thing that I'm finding out that is working great is actually kind of going back to the free method is YouTube videos. So you could combine the two methods by creating a YouTube video. If you find out people are liking it, then you can go within YouTube, and they offer some advertising options where you can advertise your video. Now this is far, far cheaper than Google pay-per-click, and you're going to get better results because somebody that sees a one-sentence ad about your company is going to be a lot less qualified than somebody that sees a video with more information about your company. So, and then you're only paying for people that are actually looking at your video. So as opposed to Google pay-per-click where they go to your site and then they might leave right away, with YouTube they're going to be watching your video, they're going to be seeing more about you, they're going to be learning more of these things. So I found it to work a lot better. The same thing with Facebook ads. Now we've all seen the ads on the right hand side of Facebook, and a lot of people have tuned those out, to be honest with you. They do still work and people are still getting results, but there's other things that you can do to advertise inside the news feed. So when people are scrolling through the news feed and they're seeing what their best friend was up to and what their cousin or whoever else is looking at, within there then they'll see the advertisement for your business. And these are often very low cost to get these posts in there, but much more effective because it's right in front of people's field of view. As people learn to tune out on the right, they're still looking at their news feed, and that's always where they're going to be looking. So if you can get your ad in front of them there, this can often cause higher conversions. So another way to do paid advertising is something called a solo ad. And what this is you find somebody that has a large mailing list. Say it's a newsletter about fitness, and they maybe have 10,000 subscribers. So you would contact this person that owns the list and say, hey, I have this great product that I think your list would be interested in. And you'll do a little bit of talking to them, but basically you'll write an email and they're going to send that email out to their list. And they may say something like, hey, a partner of mine brought this product to me, or however they're going to tell it to their list. But then those people have already expressed interest in that person. So when they receive that email, they're a lot more likely to open it. And then within it, it'll have your little advertisement email, basically, and they'll click on the link and then they'll end up at your site, and from there they can enter their email address and get on your mailing list. So this is a great way because it's so targeted, especially if it's all of course based on what you do, but if you choose a list that's targeted, then you're going to get a lot better conversion rates than just a generic thing that's broadcast to the whole internet. I'm trying to think. So that's the major one in paid. I'm thinking there's something else that I was going to mention, but I can't think of it right now. Oh, I know. So there are these things out there on the internet, and they're called traffic exchange. And what it is basically you advertise your link, and then you can people will come and look at your site for 5 or 10 seconds, and then they'll click to the next site, and they earn points by doing this. And a lot of people I've seen advertising on these, but I just want to give you a word of caution that they're virtually a complete waste of time. Most of the people that are on these sites don't have money. They're just clicking around to try to get their website links promoted. And so it really turns out to be just a big waste of time. So when you see websites that are advertising traffic exchanges, I highly recommend just skip right past it and go find a different method. These are tried and true, and they are working. They're working for extremely successful internet marketers as well as a lot of newbies. So I would stick with these methods, and then once you have some success, then you can go out and explore some other options. One other note too about paid advertising is you just want to make sure you do lots of testing. There's some traffic sources that you're going to not get any results from, and some that you're going to get incredible results from. And the only way to learn is to spend money. So you need to understand and be ready that you're probably going to lose money as you're getting set up and getting everything started. The only way to find out what really works is by testing and doing it. And so that's kind of the downside to paid advertising. However, it's a lot less work than the free methods, and again, once you find that good traffic source that is working, you can scale it to the moon. Free advertising is really based on the amount of time that you have, whereas paid advertising, if you put in, you buy an ad for $200 or $300 and you find out it works, you could drop in, depending on the company, of course, you could drop in $100,000, and that quickly, overnight, you can scale your business dramatically. So it all kind of depends where you are, where your budget is, what your level of skill and comfort is. But I just want to share, these are a few of the options to get traffic. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, again, like, comment, share below. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching and have a great day.